You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 73. Today is January 9th, 2022, and my guest today is Mark Calleri. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
Another TikTok creator that I've had on my podcast. Like I said before, I ran out of real friends, and I'm using now TikTokers. What's up, Mark?
Pretty good, man. Just chilling here. It's Sunday. It's a little overcast out here, but the weather's good. Family's healthy, and having a good weekend.
I hit you up earlier, and I was like, I forgot that you guys are only 1 hour behind or ahead, and I'm like, it was because my alarm goes off at 4:30. I'm like, oh, it's almost 7 o'clock in El Paso or Texas, and I was like, wait, no, it's only 1 hour. But by then, is what it is. We're still here, right?
That's right, man.
But how about the Cowboys this year?
Man, I'm glad you brought this one up, man. Look, I've been a Cowboy diehard since I was birthed, man. Okay, and you know, since my teenage years is when they had their domination, and so for the rest of my life, I thought the Cowboys were going to be like this every year. And sadly, it hasn't been like that. This last couple of years with Dak Prescott and the addition and the signing, it's been exciting.
I actually, like I said it before, I actually became a Cowboy fan because it was the 1996 Super Bowl with the Steelers. And I was in junior high. I already learned what a football was and stuff like that. So they're like, well, first Super Bowl that I went to watch. And they're like, who do you go for? I'm like, well, who are they? And they're like, well, the Cowboys are from Dallas and then the Steelers are from Pittsburgh. And I was like, well, my grandma just moved to Texas, so I'll go for the Star. That was my answer. I'll go for the Star. And like a lot of people don't trip out because there's a lot of Cowboy fans. Where I grew up, the Cowboy logo is actually a sign of a gang. And they use the Cowboys as their gang, so it was very hard growing up as a Cowboy fan in Oxnard wearing Cowboys because even though my light skin, colored eyes, bro, I would still get harassed. In high school, I actually got punked by like 4 kids because I was wearing a Cowboy t-shirt. And so yeah, it was pretty hard growing up a Cowboy fan. And then, but we've had some really tough, the Cowboys have had some really ugly 20-some years until recently. This season was great. I mean, you got a lot of haters, saying, well, because they played a bunch of shitty teams. Can you give us this one? Can you please just give us this one?
Look, man, the Cowboys, they're America's team for a reason, man. People love to hate them. They love to watch them. They're the most watched team week in and week out, the highest ratings every week. It's just like a love-hate relationship with this team, especially for its own fans. Like, it hurts me mentally, physically sometimes on Sundays, man, after a game or after I watch, like going into this. I was thinking about making a video actually for TikTok about all the downs and outs leading up to this. And going through that, trying to make a video, I was like I got sad, man. You know what I mean? I was like, this has been a rough 20 years.
So when the Cowboys lost to the Packers, the game, it was a catch, wasn't a catch game. That's the day that my wife physically learned that I was a Cowboy fan. We were at a kid's birthday party, right? My buddy Ish, love you Ish. We were at his son's birthday party, and I'm watching the game on my phone, right? And then when the game's over and the Cowboys lose, apparently I had tears coming out of my eyes, right? My wife's like, are you crying, babe? I'm like, no. She goes, look, babe, you're crying. I'm like, no, I'm not. And I'm wiping my eyes. I'm like, holy shit, I am crying. That was our first playoff game in a long time. So it's like, no, she knew that day, this guy loves this fucking team. And
yeah, it's look, man, like my wife says she's a big fan, but she's rarely watched the whole game with me. So she doesn't understand the pain that I've gone through. Like, I'm excited about the playoffs, but I'm also kind of like, man, like, what's our goal? What's our end result here?
So my wife, I'll go with the wife story real quick. She one day we came over. Dak was new to the Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott was new to the Cowboys, And my wife grew up in a family of soccer players, right? I believe my wife played soccer in high school. So she comes over. We come visit her mom one day, and she's talking to her dad about football, about Dak Prescott, what he's doing, quarterback, touchdowns, like the whole lingo, right? My father-in-law looks at me, looks at her, and she's like, "Mija, you fucking converted? You fucking converted?" But I am a little bit. I've kind of learned to accept the Cowboys pattern. I've learned to accept that for example, when the Cowboys won, one of the first games they won, I was pissed. One, Amari Cooper didn't do me shit for fantasy football, and two, we won, but we struggled to win. And like I told my wife, in the last 26 years of me watching my team, every time they struggle to win, when they make it to the playoffs against teams that didn't struggle, they're gonna get their asses beat. Now, does that make me a true fan or not? I've learned.
Man, look, man. Hey, if people always argue this with me and say I don't watch the Cowboys when they're playing bad. I don't hate them for that. I actually admire them for that because I do watch the Cowboys in their bad seasons, their good seasons. And I admire that fan that speaks the truth and says, you know what, screw them. When they're playing bad, I don't support them. I get it. But, man, what's fun, I don't know if you know this, I grew up in El Paso, but I live out in Fort Worth now. I'm 12 minutes from AT&T Stadium.
No shit. Envy you, man. Envy you.
Yeah, so I'm right down the street. I do go out to tailgates. I go to about 1 or 2 games a year, but I go to a lot of the tailgates as well. But the fans are awesome, dude. I've been to a lot of places. Cowboy fans are awesome, dude. I don't know why they get so much hate. And just because we're always saying like we're going to the Super Bowl.
So back in August, we go visit my grandma, and we go to Walmart, and I'm sporting my brand new Dak Prescott jersey. I don't know if you saw the video I put on my Facebook where I'm trying to hug my grandma, and my grandma's like, "No, get away from me, get away from me." She's a hardcore 49er fan, and she's like, "Get away from me, Satan," because I'm wearing that. So we go to the nearest Walmart, and sadly, I think it was that Walmart that had that shooting a few years ago. We go to that Walmart to buy some stuff for my grandma's house, and I walk in, the door greeter, Dallas Cowboy jersey. Inside the store, Cowboy fans. Yeah. I told my wife, fuck, I'm fucking home. I'm fucking home.
Right. El Paso has a lot of Cowboy fans.
Yep.
Primarily all Cowboy fans.
Yeah. So I trip out on my cousin who lives in El Paso. He's a Giants fan. Like, really, primo? I don't think we can be primos anymore, bro. Giants fan. I'm gonna pick on him right now. He's not here to defend himself. But
how does one become a Giants fan if you're not from New York? That's all I gotta ask, man. Like, how does that even happen?
Right. Well, that's the same question they asked me. It's like, how did you become a Cowboy fan if you lived in Oxnard? Oh, you became a Cowboy fan because of all the gangs in Oxnard, right? No. I became a Cowboy fan because if you think about it, you just said it. During the main millennials and during the 80s and early 90s, anyone that was born within the 80s and the early 90s, all you saw on TV were what? 3 Super Bowls, America's team, the Cowboys. That's the reason why that's the reason why a lot of millennials are Cowboy fans. Because that's all you saw. That's how I became a Cowboy fan. So my kids last year, they're like, Dad, so the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, right? I'm like, yeah. And they're going to the Super Bowl again, Dad. I'm like, okay, where is this going? And they're like, well, if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, we're going to be Chiefs fans. Now, my kids are 12 and 14, right? Back then, they were 11 and 13, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So for 2 weeks, I have this speech ready to go. Talking about, hey, that's how your dad became a Cowboy fan based on what you saw on TV, the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. So I had this speech ready to go. All right, game's about to start in 5 minutes. And my kids are like, so I sit them down. And they don't cuss. So if I cuss, I'm just over-exaggerating. So I sit them down, and I'm about to have this speech, Mark. I'm about to have this speech about they only get one chance. One chance. Eminem says it, bro. One chance to switch teams. So if you guys are going to be Chiefs fans, as long as you love football, I'm okay with it. So, okay, guys, sit down. So about the Chiefs, they start laughing. They're like, Dad, we were just messing with you. For 2 weeks, Mark! For 2 weeks!
Hey, my family know. Hey, we're Cowboys in this house, man. There ain't no ifs and buts about it.
They had me freaking thinking about a speech for 2 weeks.
That was good on their. That was good on their end, though, man. That's pretty dope. I like it.
Yeah, so they had me, and they're like, they were getting disappointed and looking at the Cowboys lose. They're like, Dad again. So this last game versus the Cardinals, they actually blamed me because we went to church and I started being sarcastic and saying, we went to church, they're gonna win, we're good, and they lost. So they're like, this is your fault. Oh, they were pissed the fuck off at me. They were mad at me. We lost because of you, Dad. We lost because of you, because you opened your mouth. Oh, when the Cowboy game starts, I am not allowed to turn on my phone and go on Facebook because I know that my cousin, the Giants fan, will say something negative. I am not allowed to look at my phone. But Andres is talking shit. He's also Andres. But Andres is talking shit. Don't respond, Dad. Let him talk his shit.
Well, look, my brother-in-law is from New York, and he's a Giants fan as well.
Uh-huh.
But he's from New York.
Right.
But so I know how having a New York family member is, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
My cousin has gotten under my skin for many years, man, with the shit he says on there. And one day it got to the point where I'm talking so much shit, I'm just running my mouth, and karma's a bitch. Tony Romo breaks his collarbone. Never again. I let him. I just, like, once the game wins, then I start freaking sending him a bunch of memes and stuff. But yeah, he's the only one that can get under my skin when he's attacking the boys, because he lives in El Paso, he grew up in El Monte, and he's a Giants fan.
Hey, has he been in El Paso his whole life?
I don't know how long. I don't know when he moved to El Paso, but I know that he was from El Monte, which El Monte is just the next city over from me. I'm in La Puente, so
okay.
Yeah, he recently he posted a picture of his mom who had passed away years ago, and I told him, if she were here right now, she'd slap you across the face for being a Giants fan.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, I have a nice size tattoo on my left arm that says I'm a Cowboy fan. My kids, I used their signatures, and it's their writing on my arm, and they didn't tattoo it. They just wrote it on a piece of paper. Right. Like I said, I grew up, I'm from where they go, the Cowboy camp in Oxnard. I have autographed footballs, autographed hats, autographed no parking signs, little plaques here and there, my VIP passes, because I'm a beer salesman. So when I was when I was working out of the office in Ventura, how many Cowboy fans are here? Well, Andres. All right, give them VIP passes. And dude, when you go to a VIP and you sit and Jason Garrett comes up to you and says, "What's up?" or freaking I have a picture with I know he's not with us anymore, but Cole Beasley, I have a picture with that guy. Yeah. Freaking when they come up to you and just start making small talk, man.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, my wife's like, are we gonna go to the Cowboy camp this year? Did I get VIP passes? She goes, no. Then no, because it's not the same thing.
Right.
But you have the stadium, I have the camp.
Yeah, that's badass though, man.
And
I've never been to a camp. I've never been to a training camp before.
It's pretty cool, man. Like when it's VIP, they take care of you. They feed you. They take you to the locker room. They show you the locker room. They show you where they're trained. They take you through the hotel. And the only thing is, they say if you see a player, don't interact, don't talk to them. But if they talk to you, man, shiz. We go in the locker room.
Right.
I have a picture with the selfie with the Tony Romo's locker room. I've never been to the camp with Dak Prescott there, because we've been living out here in La Puente for the past 4 years. So, but hardcore fan, man, Cowboy fan. You know, like I said, for Christmas, my mother-in-law gave me something Cowboys. My sister got me like a little statue from Chicago of the Cowboys, and just everyone knows. Like, what do you want for Christmas? Anything with the star. What do you want for your birthday?
I hear you, man.
Anything with the star.
Look at what I got. Let me show you. Right, speaking of that, man, look what I'm wearing. And I got they were a Christmas present.
My wife made me this mouse pad for
that is super cool though.
She
man.
made me so these microphones, they didn't have a cover before. and she owns a Cricket, so she made me microphone covers.
Right on,
And
man. That's cool, dude.
Like I said, I have one year for my birthday. They made a handprints, and just anything cowboy. This whole section is cowboys, man. All
Right.
this after the recording, I'll flip the camera around and show you, man. Just
Right on.
I mean, like I said, I grew up nothing but cowboys. That's all you saw. When I learned what a football was, cowboys, 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 cowboys. I remember in the 5th grade actually drawing like 49ers versus Cowboys, like, you know, the helmets, like, because that was the rivalry back then. And
Right.
so before junior high, Cowboys, 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 man. So I am not a sports commentary, but I am a hardcore Cowboy
Right.
fan.
Heck yeah, man.
So, but I wanted to get you on here because I don't have a lot of Cowboy friends on. That I have Raider fans, I have Giants cousins, and I'm like, you know what, man? I like this guy. He's a fucking Cowboy fan too. He's giving me 2 reasons to have him on my podcast.
Let's go, baby.
So, Mark, man, what about you, man? Where you said you were born in El Paso, or you were from El
Yeah,
Paso?
I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, and I got an opportunity to leave for work at a very young age, and I took that opportunity. And I'm actually retired from a company already because of that opportunity I took right out of high school, and it brought me over here to North Texas area, which is Dallas Fort Worth, and I've been here ever since.
My sister
And starting the second part.
My sister actually just drove by there recently because she came to visit me for Christmas. And when I asked for a recap of where they were, they actually said Fort Worth. So they
Yeah.
were in the area.
Fort Worth is just like it's called the Metroplex. It's people like my mom. I've been here for over 20 years, and she still says my son's from Dallas. I'm in Fort Worth. I gotta always tell her, Mom, it's Fort Worth is not Dallas. They're different.
Well,
Yeah, they're very different.
well, it's the same thing. I'm in La Puente. And hey, where does Andy live? Oh, Andy lives in LA. No, that's it's not the same.
Yeah, so same thing, man. I get that all the time. And let me tell you, I go to Dallas maybe once a year.
Nice.
It's not. I don't ever go to Dallas, man. So
I was watching somebody else, a different TikTok this morning. The guy was going live, and he is also from Texas. He's also a Cowboy fan, and he was also telling people, "Why are you going to take time off to go to Dallas? Why Dallas?"
I'm telling you, man. I talk to people about it all the time, and I actually live in between Dallas and Fort Worth. I live right in the middle,
Yeah.
and but I spend all my time, all my money is in Fort Worth, man. Now I do go to the stadium, which is in Arlington.
Yeah.
But I'm also like 12 minutes from the stadium as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. People would tell me, "Oh man, why'd you leave Oxnard? Oxnard's so beautiful." I'm like, "Have you gone off on the 101 and turned south on Oxnard Boulevard and about 10 minutes south? Have you been that far?" No. Then all you see is from the freeway, man. That's the beautiful part. But go south. I got my ass kicked just 10 minutes away from there for wearing a Cowboys t-shirt.
That's crazy, man.
But yeah, same here, man. When I'm like on someone's live, "Oh, hey, man, where's you from?" And I'm like, I'll say La Puente. Where the hell is that? West Covina, because that's the next popular city.
Right.
Where's that at? Troy Aikman's from West Covina, damn it. And I'm like, okay, LA, which is nowhere near here.
Right. Well, I mean, even being from El Paso, people that aren't familiar with how big Texas is, I'm like, bro, that's 700 miles away from Fort Worth, man. 700. Texas is big.
Yeah.
It's a big, and it expands very far, man, if you go from one side to the other. So, but yeah, and people get confused. Sometimes people think El Paso's in New Mexico. I guess because geography is not taught that well anymore. I don't know, but and then a lot of El Pasoans feel like they are left out of the Texas talk too because they're kind of in their little corner over
Yeah.
there, man. You know?
Yeah.
But it's cool. I'm eventually gonna get back and probably gonna move back one day, but I love it. I
Yeah.
love El Paso, man. My job just took me out here, so.
Yeah, no, I've been to El Paso twice. 8 years ago when my grandfather was sick and he passed away. And then this past August, just to visit my grandma. She wasn't sick, and then 4 months later, she's gone. And
Right.
no, El Paso is a trip because most of your drive from California to El Paso, most of your drive is in Arizona. You're looking at 400 miles through Arizona, and then once you hit La Cruces, you're there. You're already in El Paso.
Right.
And but yeah, we did it. But the thing that sucked is I did it with the lack of sleep. So I'm not doing that
bro.
again. I'm not doing that again.
No. That's
I
tough.
had the jitters, and I was like, no way, slapping my face, and my kids are like, "What the hell, Dad? You okay?" I'm like, "We got 3 hours to go, and I'm falling asleep."
That's tough, man. I've been there. Trust me.
They're like, "Dad, let's go to the Cowboy Stadium." I'm like, that's another 24 hours, boys. Not gonna happen.
Right. It's far, dude.
Not gonna happen, guys. So I almost had the chance of winning tickets to go to the Cowboy game this past I think it was the beginning of the season. Like I said earlier, I'm a beer salesman, and when there's an incentive for flyaway or baseball or football or whatever, we try to whoever can push the most volume, man, can win these tickets. And
Right.
yeah, I got my ass handed to me. So, but I'm glad because they switched the game. I think it ended up going to watch the Tampa and someone else in Florida. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad I didn't win. But yeah, man, freaking again, I'm born and raised out here in Oxnard. Like I said earlier, my skin came out white, but my grandmother's actually from Durango, and then my
okay.
my grandfather, who obviously her husband was born in Jalisco, and he tell me that's where I get the light skin and the colored eyes.
Right.
So that's why I got caught on to one of your videos because you were talking about your daughter and pretty much what people say on the internet can influence or can hurt a kid's feelings or their point of views or with me when I saw your video. When I saw your video, it reminded me of my son kind of not hating it, but kind of disappointed with his middle name based on what he found out. So my son's middle name is Andrew. It meaning Andres, right? But because it's Andrew, it's written as Andrew, he wants to change it to Andres because he overheard that the reason why it's Andrew is because Andres was too paisa. So when I saw you, is that your youngest?
Yeah, they know I'm in here talking to you, but
It's okay. I'm not tripping on that. So when I saw your video about your daughter loving her mom's culture, and then watching TikTok video where they're bashing on the color of skin, I'm like, let me get this guy on here if he wants to ramble as much as he wants based on this, because it does affect our kids, man. Like I never see my son so bummed out over a middle name.
You know, man. Here's the deal. Look, so people don't know me. My wife's from Mexico. I'm white. She's Mexican nationality, obviously. And here's the problem that I think the younger generation is facing. There's so much social media, so much things online now that people. And I show a lot of my family, and I do that for a couple of reasons. I want people to know. I want to bring smiles to people's faces. First of all, that's why I started this whole process, because mental health is I'm very big on mental health. And so my whole goal coming to social media was to bring smile and awareness. Now, I didn't know this was going to lead to where it's led to, but it's obviously gotten my foot in the door to some places. And with that, this social justice warriors really chimed in on me early on social media. I would get doxxed. They would send me hateful messages. And I didn't understand why. And they were saying because you're culturally appropriating. I'm like, and that's where I stopped them and said, guys, you're going off a 15-second video of just seeing me. And people are so quick to assume and judge because they want to point fingers. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody uses someone else's failures to get greatness. And that's what happens on social media, man. They go after people like me and they're like, oh, we're going to get this. Look at this white dude thinking he's Mexican, thinking his girls are Mexican. Well, look, guys. The reality of it is my daughter is.
Yeah.
And she is. And she embraces it. She loves it. My wife's family's actually indigenous. They're from the Purepecha tribe in Zamora. So that is well to a lot of those other cultural things that they love to show and bring up and talk about and learn and everything else that comes with that. And even at school recently, this is what I was talking about earlier before you started the podcast, was someone called my daughter a colonizer. Now here's the problem I have with this. And then when I go bring it up to people, they're like, your kids shouldn't be on social media. You're right. I agree with you. I should parent them. But that doesn't mean someone else's kids are going to be on it learning stuff from these big creators.
Exactly.
So as much as I police my kid in my house, I can't police the other kids. So these kids are learning something from their parents and taking it to school, to where my daughter thought colonizer was a bad word, and all of a sudden she's getting called that now. We're doing such an injustice to our younger generation, and certain things should be taught about. Certain things should be learned, but I think we're doing it the wrong way.
You know what pissed me off when this whole George Floyd thing started, and again, no one deserves to die.
Right.
Regardless of the man's background, police record, the man, no one should have died. Rest in peace. Regardless. Right. But when I'm watching a video of a little kid crying because she doesn't want the police to shoot them, first of all, why the hell should a 4-year-old be watching the fucking news?
Right.
That's not something the kid is going to just think about. Hey, let me stop playing with my fucking Legos and go watch the news. Even with me. Sometimes I wake up in the morning on Saturday morning. Shit, I wake up early. Like I told you the other day, I wake up at 4 a.m. regardless.
Right.
What's on TV? I don't have cable, so I just start streaming the news or whatever, right? And my kids walk out and they're like, Dad, that's old stuff. That's old people stuff. 12 and 14-year-old thinking the news is for old people, right? So why is a 4-year-old watching the news and talking about, I don't want to get shot by the police? I have a brother-in-law who's a freaking police officer, bro. I have respect for what they do. I don't know if you heard recently in Hollywood at a coal factory, Burlington Coal Factory, a 14-year-old girl was shot. Okay, that's just down the street from my house, bro. That's just down the street. It's not that far from here. That's the same LAPD. My brother-in-law works for LAPD. So when I see on Facebook, I gotta stop. I gotta get off Facebook, bro. But when I'm watching the Facebook, when I see you, when I send you a message, you don't respond. Like hours later, I'm like, good, he's off Facebook.
Yeah.
When I'm reading the articles and they say the family wants justice for this girl to die, for this young girl that died. Motherfuckers, that was an accident.
Right.
Who knew that there was a little girl behind that wall? Last time I checked, I don't know about you, bro, but I can't see through walls.
Well, look, that's a valid argument. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, okay? I'm going to play devil's advocate. I agree with you. I just feel that there needs to be better training or something, and let me tell you why. When there's one guy and they already know he doesn't have a weapon, you're telling me on this that 10 police officers cannot wrestle this dude down. Now, once again, we can pity back and forth all day, but that's why people like us need to have these conversations, because me and you can do it as adults.
Yeah.
And what we're doing right now doesn't happen in social media.
No.
Doesn't happen in politics. And so I agree. I do agree with you. I just would really like if they can identify the suspect without a weapon. And I saw the video. So I know there's numerous.
Didn't he have like a bike chain?
Yeah, he did. Okay.
I mean, but how fast can a bike chain go if he throws it at you?
I don't know. But see, there's so many ifs, ands, or buts or stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, no one's ever going to give the correct answer. God, man, I felt so bad because when I heard the story where she was from, she was shopping for a quinceañera dress or something. I was like, I had so much empathy, like for her mom. I was sitting there going, she was holding her baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. 100% it was an accident. That we should be able to agree that was an accident.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the problem: a lot of people don't, Andres, and that's where you get. Yeah, I'm like, dude, it was an accident, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I get really into stuff
No.
when I start talking, man.
Hey,
And-
I have you for another half an hour, bro. Go.
No, I'm just fortunate enough to where I think I have a level-headed brain. Maybe it's my generation. Maybe it's my upbringing. But I listen to both sides of everything. I never make quick judgments. Maybe that was the way my mom brought me up. I don't know, dude. But I've always been like this, man. I kind of look at the whole situation first.
Yeah.
And we're so quick in the media and the news to just everyone wants to be on the news first. They want to do the news story first.
Yeah.
And then that's how so much false fucking information gets out there, dude, because no one knows the actual truth, man.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
just saying, dude.
I know we got off the topic about your daughter and stuff,
Right.
but I have one more. The
Go
truck
for it.
driver. The truck driver.
Oh,
It was a
well,
fucking accident. It was also an accident. Now, my understanding from what I recently heard, the people that died, he didn't slam into them. They slammed
Right.
into him.
Well, see, I didn't even know that either. That's
I
the
just
first I
learned
heard
that the
it
other
is.
day. I heard that the other day too because my wife and I got into it. The conversation got heated when my boys are like, "We're gonna
Right,
walk
right.
out. We're gonna walk out," because he could have driven off the freaking off ramp. I'm like, put yourself in his shoes. You don't know
Right.
what's going through a person's mind. Kill myself or kill others. I don't know what the fuck to do. The kid was young. He's younger than both of us.
Let me tell you something, Andres. This is what I've done for 30 years. I've been in logistics for 30 years with truckers. So everybody came to me with this question too.
Oh,
man.
there we go.
I didn't want to get involved in it on TikTok, which was more drama. I kind of stay away from that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of but honestly, man, we do. I used to train guys. You do vigorous pre-trips because if something goes wrong, that's on the driver. Now, you can prove if it happened during the drive, if something happened but you can also prove if this was going to fail before he left. So, and then you also do, and you document all these pre-trips. You document everything. And I didn't go as far to look into the case or listen to it long enough because I don't even know if he had a pre-trip or I didn't know. I didn't hear about it.
Right.
Did you? Did you hear about it? I didn't either, but I can tell you this: the kid wasn't trained properly. It was an accident. I can agree. Of course, it was an accident. Once again, I can't understand why anyone else would argue anything else. So I don't know if there was a pre-trip. But I do agree with you. It was an accident. Absolutely, 100%.
So the part that we got into it obviously. The reason why we got into it is because we didn't agree on the fact that he should have pulled over, like got off the thing, whatever the case would be. We weren't there. We couldn't see what happened. We weren't there. What I did not agree was on the 110 years, and I'm fucking glad the governor or whoever dropped his fucking sentence by 100 years. Fuck yeah, good for you, boy. I mean,
and he'll be out even earlier than that, too, bro.
So sorry it happened again. Like I said earlier,
Yes.
no one deserves to die. You know,
Right.
But they threw the book at this poor kid, and big time. So good for him that, I mean, yes, he's doing time. He has to do the time. I'm just glad that it wasn't 110 years.
Right. What are we gonna throw this kid's life away, man, for an accident?
An
Nah,
accident.
man.
An accident.
People
So,
get fucking probation for drinking and driving, bro.
dude,
So what-
wasn't there a guy recently that freaking, I think he shot someone, he killed some people, and the motherfucker only got probation?
That's what I'm saying, dude. It blows my mind. And you know what though? I didn't tell you this. I did jury. Have you ever done jury duty, man?
Yes, but I've never done it. I've never said, like, I got called out, so I was like, fuck yeah.
Check this out, dude. Well, this is what I was talking about because we're talking about the trucking thing.
Yeah.
I did a murder trial 2 months ago.
No shit.
Yeah, bro. And let me tell you, it's not fun. It's not like what people think, dude. It's hard on the mind. It's hard on the body. It's exhausting. And then to know that you have someone's life in your hands, dude. It's like in the deliberating room.
Yeah.
A few of the jurors were crying, and I'm like, "Fuck! I thought this was time off just to chill, come do something new, and I'm sitting here on a murder trial. How do I get stuck here, man? It's tough, dude. It's a lot tougher than. And you know what else? The state of Texas offers free counseling if you work a murder or like a child molestation case.
Yeah.
Child
Okay.
assault. They offer free counseling.
Oh, okay.
I see why now, bro. I didn't sleep for one night, dude.
I believe it,
didn't sleep
man.
For one night.
I believe it, dude. I just think that, like, back to what we said earlier about social media, man. Honestly, some of these kids, you're right. They need to get off of it. I don't let my kids have Facebook. They watch TikTok. I mean, if I hear the video of what they're watching, hey, you guys better not be watching that. But they know what to do. They click, they search, and they'll watch Marvel videos or whatever. So It's not like they're just going randomly. Like when we first started, we would watch TikTok as a fucking family, bro. I would stream my phone to the TV and we would watch it as a family, bro. Yeah. And it's like when I can hear the music of whatever's coming up, switch it. Yeah. And they're like, my wife's like, hey, what the hell? You want me to hit play? Okay, go back. And within 2 seconds, hey, turn it out. Oh, okay. I told you. Yeah. I kind of already know what's happening. Dude, TikTok got addicting, man. Like it did. It did. And what do you call it? So no, I kids shouldn't be on social media. Because a lot of the internet just provides false information, or even if it's real, kids shouldn't. Don't ruin a child's mind with it. So at the end of the day, it's the parents' fault.
I totally agree. The only thing I got to add to that is, like I said, my daughter can never be on social media, but she goes to school for one day and they throw everything at her that they just learned the night before. So it's like for us, I can't keep my kids off it because I do it, but I do limit what I do. I do police it, so to speak. But I do. What's scary about social media, and I've talked about this in a live. If you notice your big content creators or your big creators that are either political or they're social justice warrior creators, they're the same thing as politicians, man. And let me tell you why. I just observed it. They just like your politicians, just like your big content creators, they preach, they say stuff, and their following blindly follows them, bro, whether they're right or wrong. And it happens in government and politics. It happens on social media. These people are looked at so high up there on the pedestal just because they have a blue check mark or because they have 2 million followers that these people believe everything they say. And I go through the comments and I'm just like, what are we doing like that? There can't be that many brainwashed people in this country. And then I go, I guess there are. Because I've learned the secret of social media. I could be sitting at 10 million followers right now, man, if I went political or as a social justice warrior. I could easily be making making a career off this. But I'm not going to ever sell myself like that. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to my wife, my kids, or even my community and people and the younger generation. Someone has to step up and start doing the right thing. And that's why you come to my page. It's fun. It's interactive. We talk back and forth. And that's how I've built it since day one.
Yeah. No, like I said, I got into your page because, like I said, I saw that video. I saw it once in a while. I got hooked on the fact that you were a Cowboy fan. That's the first thing that caught my attention, right? And then that one video with your daughter, when you're talking about your daughter, and then that's when I started following you, and I'm like, let me see what this guy's all about. And here we are now. We're on you're on the podcast. I appreciate that.
Right.
But yeah, no, I only use the TikTok to promote my podcast. That's it. Right. I was using, and then I got into my bike rides, and I started posting on my bike rides and going on the mountains and stuff like that. So, but it was mainly for the sole purpose of promoting my podcast. And I've gotten listeners off of that. I've gotten my numbers within the first time using TikTok. My numbers kind of spiked up a little bit, and cool. But that was the sole purpose. But then I go on some of these videos, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about?
I had COVID. I just got over COVID. and I somehow ended up on drama TikTok. Dude, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing how these grown adults are going back and forth, or even doxing. I've never liked the people that dox people. Never thought that. And I got my own reasons for that. I've been doxed. You probably didn't follow me back then. Someone doxed me because they brought up my criminal record, my past, which I do. But everything on paper looks. Let me tell you. I'll just be open with you. I have an assault charge. I have 2 assault charges and a domestic terroristic threat. And let me tell you, on paper that looks bad, doesn't it?
My shit got sponged, bro. I know what it's talking about.
So yeah, it looks bad on paper,
Yeah.
but in reality, the assaults were fights that I won, and the domestic terrorist threat was because I threatened to burn someone's house while we were yelling because I was 20 years old. I go, and after I beat your ass, I'm going to burn your house down. So on paper, it looks horrible. But in reality, bro, I was 20 years old just trying to figure out what was going on in this world and got in a few fights.
Dude, when I said open up, bro, damn, I wasn't expecting this. I like this.
Well, I say this because someone already brought it up. Hey,
Yeah.
Someone made a video about it.
Yeah.
And I responded to it and I said, thank you. Thank you for letting people know. And then they deleted it, bro.
Yeah.
They deleted everything about me because they knew it was backfiring on him. Because people are going, this guy's grown from his past. He's learned. And that's what we all need to be doing, man.
Yeah.
And so it ended up backfiring on him. And I was like, thanks, dude, for throwing me out there and helping me out. But, honestly, man, mental health is number one to me. That's really why I came. And off the air, I'll talk to you a little bit more about it, man. But it's very big to me. And my main goal really was to bring smiles into people's houses that are struggling or having a bad day. That was it. That's the whole reason.
Well, that's the reason why I started this podcast, because my again, I know people have heard me say this already, but you haven't. I've been through hell and back growing up as a kid. And then when you're the first 29 years of your life, when you're trying to have your own mother love you and you're not getting that, you come to the point where you throw in the towel. And in the process of those first 29 years of what happened, my uncle's like, dude, you have fucking stories. And so the purpose of the podcast was if people are going through hell and they listen to my podcast, maybe they can say, oh shit, maybe I don't have it that bad. I've talked about trying to commit suicide. I've talked about the court battles. I've talked about just depression. I've talked about everything that I can think of based on just recently. My sister came over to visit and she lost her shit because, people were getting under her skin, and she lost her shit because they were attacking me. And I walk in the room and I'm like, look, I'm going to go eat my pan dulce. I'm not going to give a shit what they say. Where the next day she tells my wife, holy shit, the old Andres, Mark, would have drove to Oxnard and punched that little SOB in the face.
Right.
The old Andres would have been yelling back at them. The new Andres was like, dude, I almost killed myself, dude. It's not worth it.
Right.
It's not worth it. Mark, I almost jumped in front of a fucking train. It's not worth it.
No, it's not, dude. You're needed tomorrow. You're always needed the next day. It's crazy, man. I've been there too, man. I've been down that roads too, man, and stuff I haven't even opened up to yet, and I'm not ready to with the world. But that's why. Look, man, I have haters. When you build you get haters, bro.
Everyone does.
And so, like my hater the other day came in there and she said, "You're stereotyping Latinas, this and that." You know what? I used to try to be like, no, man, this is why. Now I'm like, fuck off. If you don't like what I'm posting, fuck off, man. Because this is real. Everything you see me joke about, for the most sort, some of it's for video. But I make those videos up because it either happened or it's real. That's how we live in this house. I can only make videos of my family. And I get so many haters, man. It used to be the far right.
Yeah.
And then they gave up hating on me. Then it was some Latinos or that some started getting mad at me. Then it was, dude, it's been certain at different times have come at me. I'm like, what the fuck do y'all, why are you coming at me, dude?
But you know what, dude?
I mean?
You know what? Like with me, like people come up to me sometimes and like they think when they hear me speak Spanish, they're like, "Ah, cabrón, este gabacho habla español." I'm like, first of all, I'm not a gabacho. I'm Mexicano. My last name is Martinez, one of the most paisa last names out there. And
Right.
and I look at you, dude. Even though you're Irish, you look
Right.
like a white Mexican.
I get it all the time, man. Okay, now look, so I grew up in El Paso, right? 90% Mexican or Mexican American, because a lot of them go back and forth over the border.
Yeah.
And that happened, and even in my school. So some of my friends lived in Juarez. I would go over there and hang out, but I would get that all the time, man. And what's crazy is I didn't know any different till I moved. Like, I thought El Paso and that culture was everywhere because you're a kid.
Yeah.
And so you only
Yeah.
know one certain thing. Like, I would wear, this is no BS. Where I grew up in our neighborhood, I would wear flannels, Dickies, and a white tee every day. Like, that was normal.
Yeah.
So when I moved down here, when I was in Fort Worth, they're like, "Are you a cholo or what, man?" I'm like, dude, that's just the way that.
Oxnard, the cholos would like they're sort of like the old school cholos. My grandpa used to dress like that too.
Yes, but that was our neighborhood. That's how I dressed, and they didn't treat me no different.
Yeah,
I was one of the boys. That's how we grew up.
yeah,
And so I was still only 17 or 18 when I moved. So I'm still in that young mind frame. I'm still wearing all this, which I'm not bullshitting on this. I still wear Dickies. I'm wearing them right now. It's just something that I never changed.
yeah.
But I people do assume a lot, like you said though. Going back to that, I do get that a lot. And then a lot of people say, "You have this weird accent, man. Why do you talk and sound like that?" I don't hear it. My wife hears it. People at work hear it.
Yeah.
I work with, but I'm like, look, guys, I grew up in El Paso. That's all I can tell you. That's it.
That's it.
That's all I can tell you. And I got mad love for every person, race, gender. It doesn't fucking matter to me, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No.
And
Yeah.
why should it? If it's not bothering me, why should it fucking matter?
Exactly. But like again, other reason why I caught onto your videos is that you are a fucking family man, and I love that.
Oh,
Love that.
Number one, first and foremost.
Love that. I love when you put your. I won't put my kids on TikTok. That's the reason why I have Facebook and Instagram. Not on TikTok because TikTok was to promote the podcast, but
Right.
that's just my views.
Right,
But
right.
I love you get your no mames way. Your daughter's fucking amazing, and that's what your hat says.
Yeah. So we got a merch line, man. And a girl from El Paso does everything. It's in the link in my bio on TikTok, and we do good. It's just we just split the profit, whatever, man. Some of it I donate. We donate some of it to No Child Goes Hungry. It's an organization that you can even donate off my bio on TikTok. It goes straight to No Child Goes Hungry. It's a great organization. It's there to feed kids that, as I said, they're hungry or not food. But this has opened the door though. And as it keeps going, dude, I keep like look at this, man. This is a signed Mike Ditka with Tom Landry. Mike Ditka sent it to me himself.
No shit.
So his assistant is big on domestic violence and stuff, and her and Ditka started watching my videos. I just got that in the mail 2 days ago. Mike Ditka signed this and keep doing what you're doing, man. I love your videos. When you get to one of the greatest coaches in the history of the NFL that says he watches my videos to promote positivity and the family man, like you said,
Yeah.
dude, I feel like this just fucking keep going to see where this leads to, man.
I recently bumped into the producer of the morning show of the radio station that I listen to, and that's the reason why they call me the Flat Tire Andy. They gave me that nickname. And when he told me, "You got Mike Ditka, but when I get this guy, it's the same thing. That's my Mike Ditka." When the producer of the morning show tells me, "Dude, I love your podcast. It's a good podcast," I'm like, "Holy shit, Brian listens to my podcast, babe. Did you hear that?
Badass.
Brian listens to my podcast." So
That's badass,
that's
dude.
my Mike Ditka.
Hell yeah, man! Keep doing what you're doing, dude.
But yeah, no, like I said, I like that you're a family man, and when you're defending your daughter, dude. And that reminded me of my kid too, kind of hating his middle name. And even though we got all over the place, that's what I wanted to touch on. But yeah, dude, I don't. The race is ridiculous lately with the hate and the comments, and it's like
It is.
it's ridiculous. It really is, man. It's like our kids are growing up, and like I said it multiple times already. The moment the people from the 60s, 70s, and 80s pass away, this world's done. This world's done.
Well, man, I don't know how much time you have, man, but you know, there was a very interesting talking about race and races, and I don't know what you want to get into, but I've talked about this on my lives on social media. Where I grew up, you know, people, the N-word, man, the N-word. Let me tell you something, Andres. Where I grew up, everybody used it. I didn't. I mean, not I just say everybody, bro. But people don't understand that. But what I'm saying is, it brought us together. The community that because where I'm from, it was more Hispanics and blacks didn't get along, and I don't know if it's like that in other places. But the white person was just kind of pushed to the side.
Right.
So, but you know what, dude? It just, it's so deep. I've gone on another radio show, an actual radio show in El Paso, and they asked me about race, and I talked about this. And look, if someone doesn't want you to use a word, don't fucking use it, right? It's not that fucking hard, man. And when you're with your homeboys and you use it around them, if that's what they're cool with, then who gives a flying fuck, bro? That's how I feel about everything, man.
Yeah.
You look, Andres. You know, if me and you are out somewhere, what I can say to you, where you have common sense. A lot of people are lacking common sense.
I said that.
And when I go on social media, and I see that, and these people just try to want to say a word so bad, or I'm like, bro, dude, it's embarrassing, Andres. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Nowadays, you have to watch what you say.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, you know how PG-13 my videos are, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. I run them through my wife first and say, is this going to offend anybody? No shit. I go, is this going to offend
Yeah.
Think about that, bro.
Yeah.
My videos, but we have to do that.
Yeah.
Because I go, is this going to get me in trouble or banned or canceled? And she goes, no, there's nothing in there.
It's like before I hit record, I gave you the rules. Don't bash on Target. Don't.
Right. I've had, you guys don't see, but I've had probably 100 videos banned. And they're not even bad.
Yeah.
But somebody had reported them and found it offensive. And I'm like, God, dude, if they only grew up when I grew up, they wouldn't even know how to live,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly. It's funny because I did it. It was yesterday. Yesterday, there's this. I play Pokemon Go, and there was this Pokemon Go page on Facebook that posted a picture of Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas of one of the statues. You know, the statues are naked, right? So somebody posted a picture of that Pokestop, right? And I'm like, that's the same Pokestop I posted like 2 years ago, and that same photo was fucking reported and banned.
Dude, look, I still don't understand the TikTok community guidelines. Let me tell you why. My last video that was banned was me and my primo Ishmael. I am an advocate for marijuana. Okay, I am, and there's my reasons behind that. We'll get that to another day. But me and him are just laughing. Now we didn't show the smoke. We didn't show smoking. We didn't show nothing. Okay, we just laughed.
Yeah.
That video got banned. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing else. There's no way. Because we were laughing. We were just showing a reaction to funny things on TV. Not showing the TV either. So a video like that got banned. We're laughing.
Yeah.
All we're doing is laughing. And that's kind of like, what? What is going on, man? But I've had numerous, dude, hundreds.
It's sensitive, bro. People are so sensitive nowadays, man. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's like you get, like you said, you have to, like I told you in the beginning, I try not, anything that's going to get me sued, we don't talk about.
Right, dude.
So
I'm telling you, man.
It's sad, man.
It's sad. We live in a different world. Some has been good. Some of the younger generations brought out some good in us. As far as the older generation, the gay marriage thing, beautiful. I love it. I don't know why anybody had a problem with it to begin with. I don't care. Like, once again, I always think, does it bother me? If it doesn't bother me, what doesn't matter, man? And with that stuff, what I did have to get used to, man, are the pronouns. I was thrown off by the pronouns, dude. And my daughter had to explain it to me. I didn't even understand it. Was that new to you too? Like, were you like, what the heck is going on? Or,
Like those new lingos and shit. Like,
yeah, like, well, like they, now, them.
oh yeah,
them.
yeah. Like,
I was like, baby. Well, someone asked me on my live. They're like, "What is your pronoun?" And I was like, "What is this, man?" and my daughter was like, she's asking me like, "Are you a him or?" I was like, "I'm a dude, man. I'm just a dude, bro.
I'm a dude. He's a dude.
As a dude.
She's a dude. We're all dudes.
I mean, we're just dudes, man."
Yeah. No, I don't I say, don't bring it to my house. It's that simple. You know,
Right.
Don't bring it to my house. Don't come preach it over here. Like I told you earlier. Yeah, I'll get back on. I'll record today. Let me just finish mass. But I don't come on my podcast and preach the good word. You know.
Right.
I'm not here to
Right.
like. In fact, the priest said it today. I'm not here to shove it down your throat. That's the way he said it.
Right.
Too. I'm not here to shove it down your throat. Do you want to baptize your kid or not? That's on you. I'm not.
Right.
That's not me to shove it down your throat. So, yeah, man. It's pretty crazy nowadays where people can't even voice their opinion. They can't. You know, people are just too sensitive, man, and it's crazy. It's crazy. And like I said, like we started this conversation, it's affecting our kids.
That's the bottom line, man. I can see it, and it's sad. We're gonna have to do something eventually. I've been to my school board meetings. I've been kicked out of 2 Fort Worth City Council meetings. Kicked out.
Damn.
Because I called them out, bro. Republicans and Democrats both. I called them out, man. And I've been kicked out of those. But my community that I live in wants me to run. And dude, let me tell you, I really thought about I thought about it a lot. I even wrote stuff down, the pros and cons. And at the end of the day, man, I'm not ready for my family to get dragged through this money bullshit that happens when you go into politics.
Yeah.
And I don't have many skeletons anyways. I'm pretty much open. I'm an open door anyways, but it's dirty. It's a dirty profession. Most of those people are dirty. And right now I'm going to try to do it my own way. And it's tough though, man, but I have thought about it. But maybe one day.
I mean, it's always there, man. It's always there.
Yeah.
It's always an option. Yeah. Like there's a bunch of stuff that like the kids and we'll be watching TV and something happens and I'll say, that's why I didn't do that for a living, or that's why I didn't do that for a living. They're like, okay, Dad. All right, Dad. But we're just joking around. Like when we're watching Apollo 13, I'm like, that's why I didn't go to the moon. Oh, okay, Dad.
Shoot, dude, I don't even fly, bro. So I would never want to be an astronaut, man. Shoot, dude.
So, yeah, no, the only thing my wife does see is that sometimes she sees me get like really sad when I'm watching a Cowboy game. And I say, well, I never got that opportunity to play.
Right.
I wanted to play.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, man, freaking, yeah, no, again, back to this, it's people can't voice shit anymore. And, we're living in a world nowadays where you back in the days, you're supposed to lock your doors and fucking stay inside. Now you got to really lock your doors and stay inside.
Yeah, man. I mean, why? I mean, how do we, the $1 million question is, how do we get over this hump? And, when I talk to the community leaders in the Black community, I go hang out and volunteer. We feed lower income neighborhoods, or even certain churches will ask me to help. We do a lot, man. And here's another thing. I don't post that stuff. And there's a reason why people tell me on this, Mark, you should do this because it'll boost you. It'll show things that people do that are good. And I'm like, no, man, I do, this is God's work, man. This stuff I do on the side, it's not for no one else. And so that's why we don't show that stuff. But I've been asked a lot.
I always say that people that go in, and like I've seen a lot of TikTok videos or YouTube videos or whatever the case would be, where the guy is taking off his shoes and giving them to a homeless.
Yes.
Dude, just fucking do it. You don't have to fucking make yourself famous on TikTok being kind. You know how many times I bought people in Starbucks line my freaking coffee? The guy behind me, I bought his coffee. Or how many times some lady was selling flowers. It was her last flowers. I'm like, how much you want for it? Whatever it is. Here you go. Take it. Or I bought a homeless food the other day. I don't have to put it on social media. If you're putting it on social media, then are you really doing it out of the kindness of your heart?
Right. I agree. I mean, that's why sometimes I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I've
I
seen
didn't want to tell you why, but that's why
Yeah.
I'm up sometimes that early.
I've seen my buddy Paul take off his fucking sandals and give them to a homeless man. Nowhere in that event has he asked me, pull out your phone and record this real quick. Nowhere.
I mean,
The man has sandals, spare extra sandals in his trunk. So when he sees a
Right.
homeless person barefooted, he gives them a pair of sandals.
right.
And not once did he ask me to pull out my cell phone to record it.
Yeah, I agree. Now look, do we need to see it every now and then to show that there's good people out there? Sure, I get it. It's like if someone caught it like random and like, dude, look what this guy's doing, and it's truly random.
Yeah,
Hell, post it, dude. Like, because people need to see that sometimes.
yeah.
But if it's you and me and we're walking down the street, bro, and I'm like, hey, Andres, Bill, put your phone on real quick,
Yeah.
bro. I'm gonna go give this dude $100. Bro, what the hell are we doing it for now, man? You know, we're not doing it for the right reason.
Nope. I came up. We were getting off the freeway one day, and I had $4, and the guy asked for money, and well, he had a sign at the freeway, right? The little. And when getting off the freeway, and I just pulled out $4 and I give them to him, and I look at my wife, and my wife's looking at me, and I say, I can sleep at night.
Right.
I can
Right.
sleep at night.
Right.
So, like I said, man, there's not a lot of people out there in today's world like that.
Right.
And I think I
Right.
thank Paul, because Paul kind of like, you know, like when me seeing Paul doing what he did, it's like, okay, now I do it.
Right.
You know, so
Right on, man. Right on.
man, I'm glad. I'm fucking desperate. I didn't see, man. I didn't know that about you. I didn't know what you did. That is awesome, dude. This is the first conversation me and you have ever had, like, on the phone.
Absolutely. This is the first time we've ever talked.
And dude, I got to know you, and that's amazing what you do. And like I said, I give you props for being a family man. Definitely give you props for being a Cowboy fan. And you know, like I told you in the beginning, you open up to whatever you want to open up. And, you know, I thank you, man.
Oh, no. Hey, thanks for spending some time with me, man, and having me on. I appreciate it. If you guys are here at the end of this podcast, man, you can catch me on TikTok at ClaryOG, Instagram ClaryOG, Twitch ClaryOG, pretty much ClaryOG anything, man. And click the link in my bios, man. It's not for me. It's for other organizations if you get a chance, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Andres.
I got really cautious at hitting those links because it takes you to OnlyFans. We don't see that, right?
Hey, maybe one day. I never count anything out, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
All right, man. Well, I'll make sure to add your TikTok link to the description of this podcast episode. I will post it today. And thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate you opening up. Again, first time talking to you. And like I end every podcast, thank you for riding with me.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Much love.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.